Imagine your brain as a hyper-busy metropolis during rush hour. Thousands of thoughts, worries, unread emails, and flashing notifications are screaming for your attention all at once, creating a massive traffic jam inside your skull. For most of us living in the modern world, this mental chaos isn't just a temporary state. It has become our default factory setting. We spend our days living in a constant, exhausting state of low-grade emergency, driven by an ancient evolutionary survival mechanism that treats a slightly passive-aggressive text message from a boss or a drop in social media engagement the exact same way it would treat a predatory tiger leaping out of the bushes. But what if you could actually step inside the air traffic control tower of that chaotic city, take the controls, and completely rewire the entire grid from the inside out? That is exactly what happens when you commit to meditating every single day. As a holistic health coach who has personally maintained a daily meditation practice for over 8 years, I can tell you with absolute certainty that daily meditation isn't some mystical spiritual escape, nor is it just a feel-good placebo. It is a profound, measurable, physical remodeling project of your gray matter. When you sit down and focus your attention consistently, you are actively changing the physical architecture of your brain through a process called neuroplasticity, which is simply your brain's incredible ability to adapt, reshape, and rebuild its neural pathways based entirely on your daily experiences. To truly understand why this daily practice is so radically transformative, we have to look directly at the ultimate stress generator hiding inside your skull, a tiny, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of the amygdala as your brain's hypersensitive smoke detector, an ancient survival tool whose sole job is to scan your environment for danger and instantly trigger the fight or flight response. In our modern, high-stress society, this alarm system is firing almost non-stop, flooding your entire body with a toxic cocktail of cortisol and adrenaline, keeping you trapped in a loop of chronic anxiety and hypervigilance. However, when you sit down and meditate every day, you trigger a biological process called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to physically change its shape and connections. Neurological imaging shows that after just a few weeks of daily consistency, the physical size and gray matter density of your amygdala actually begin to shrink. By deliberately sitting in silence and directing your awareness, you are literally dismantling your brain's anxiety alarm system. You don't magically stop experiencing stressful events, but you completely change how your biology processes them, replacing automatic, fear-based knee-jerk reactions with a calm, grounded buffer zone that allows you to handle life's chaotic ups and downs without losing your peace. While that emotional amygdala is shrinking, something absolutely spectacular is happening on the flip side of your brain's anatomy. Your prefrontal cortex, the area located right behind your forehead, is simultaneously beginning to thicken and grow. This region is essentially the CEO of your brain, the command center responsible for your highest human capabilities, including executive functioning, logical decision-making, emotional regulation, and deep concentration. In the modern economy, our focus is constantly fractured. We are hit with notifications, headlines, and a million micro-distractions every minute, which physically thins out this executive region over time. Daily meditation is the ultimate evidence-based countermeasure to this mental decay. Every single time your mind wanders during a session and you catch yourself, let go of the distraction and gently bring your awareness back to your breath without judging yourself. You are performing the psychological equivalent of a heavy bicep curl. You are forcing that prefrontal CEO to activate, flex, and take control of the boardroom. Over time, this daily weight training thickens the gray matter in your executive center, causing your baseline capacity for deep focus and emotional stability to skyrocket, so that you stop being a helpless victim of your impulses and start operating as the conscious director of your life. However, the real magic of this daily consistency lies in how these different brain regions communicate with one another, because a brain is only as good as its internal network connections. In a stressed brain, the neural highway connecting the emotional amygdala to the logical prefrontal cortex is highly reactive, fragile, and unstable, which is why a minor inconvenience can instantly ruin your entire morning. But when you meditate consistently, you build a brand new, high-speed fiber optic cable between these two vital areas, a neurological upgrade known as functional connectivity. This structural reinforcement allows your logical prefrontal cortex to instantly send a soothing, inhibitory signal down to the hyperventilating amygdala, essentially whispering, "Hey, take a breath. It's just a stressful email, not a life-threatening emergency. We have the tools to handle this calmly." This enhanced connection is the exact reason why long-term meditators look like they possess an emotional superpower. They don't have fewer thoughts, stressful days, or human emotions than anyone else. They have simply cultivated an entirely different relationship to them. They can observe a massive wave of anger, fear, or anxiety rise up within themselves, acknowledge it with curiosity instead of judgment, and watch it pass right by like a cloud in the sky without ever getting swept away by the current. To appreciate the full depth of this mental upgrade, we have to look at what your brain is doing when you are seemingly doing nothing at all, which is where most people completely lose the battle for mental peace. Have you ever noticed that when you sit perfectly still, trying to relax, your mind suddenly becomes incredibly loud, looping endlessly about past mistakes or worrying about future scenarios? When you fall into this state, a massive, interconnected web of brain regions lights up, which neuroscientists call the default mode network, but I prefer to call it the monkey mind. This specific circuit is the biological home of your ego, your self-narrative, and your internal critic, and it is hyperactive in people who suffer from chronic overthinking, stress, and anxiety. A wandering mind is fundamentally an unhappy mind because the default mode network is evolutionarily hardwired to search for problems to solve or things to worry about. Meditation acts as the ultimate off switch for this exhausting internal loop, saving you immense amounts of daily energy and time. When you consciously anchor your awareness to the present moment, you instantly quiet the monkey mind. And over time, daily practice permanently recalibrates this system. It turns down the volume knob on your internal critic, allowing your default resting state to naturally shift away from anxiety and toward a deep, authentic sense of presence, helping you realize that you are not the loud voice in your head, but rather the calm awareness that hears it. This profound structural remodeling creates a beautiful systemic chain reaction that alters the very electrical frequencies or brainwave states that dictate your daily reality. Throughout a standard, frantic workday, your brain operates almost exclusively in high beta waves, a fast, choppy electrical frequency associated with active analytical thinking, stress, and hypervigilance. When you drop into your daily meditation practice, your brainwaves naturally slow down, shifting seamlessly into alpha and theta frequencies. Alpha waves represent the golden state of relaxed alertness, which is the exact effortless flow state athletes and top performers refer to when they talk about being completely in the zone. Theta waves go even deeper, bridging the gap between the conscious mind and the subconscious, unlocking immense creative problem-solving and deep emotional healing. By practicing this daily, you don't just experience these blissful states while your eyes are closed on a cushion. You actively train your nervous system to carry this calm, creative alpha frequency into your entire workspace. You naturally become the calmest, most stable person in the room, capable of navigating intense professional pressure and complex crises with a clear, uncluttered mind. Finally, daily meditation directly tackles one of the most seemingly inevitable realities of human biology, the physical aging of the brain. As we cross into our 30s and 40s, our brains naturally begin to wither, losing global gray matter volume and processing speed, which often leads to that familiar brain fog, memory lapses, and cognitive decline later in life. However, landmark neurological studies from Harvard University have revealed something truly revolutionary. When scientists mapped the brains of long-term daily meditators in their 50s, they discovered that these individuals possessed the exact same amount of gray matter in their prefrontal cortex as healthy 25-year-olds. Meditation accomplishes this by protecting your brain's telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes that act like the plastic tips on shoelaces, dictating exactly how fast your cells age and die. By drastically lowering systemic cortisol and toxic stress, daily meditation shields these genetic caps from degrading. You aren't just calming your mind for 10 minutes, you are literally preserving your cognitive youth, stimulating neurogenesis, the birth of brand new brain cells, and building a powerful anti-aging shield that keeps your memory sharp and your mind vibrant for decades to come. The most beautiful part of this entire neurological transformation is that it doesn't require hours of isolated contemplation on a remote mountaintop, nor does it require a perfect, mystical performance. Your brain doesn't care about perfection, it responds entirely to consistency. Choosing to step away from your phone, close your eyes, and sit in conscious stillness for just 10 or 15 minutes every single day is the precise biological trigger that signals your nervous system it is safe to adapt, grow, and heal. Each daily session is a small, conscious vote for the kind of mind, biology, and future you want to cultivate for yourself. Slowly but surely, the mental traffic jams begin to clear away. The internal alarms fade quietly into the background, and you are left with a brain that is resilient, intensely focused, and deeply at peace with the present moment. So tomorrow morning, before you check a single email, open a laptop, or scroll through a feed, give your brilliant biology the rare, beautiful gift of a hard reset. Sit, breathe, observe, and let your brain do the quiet, miraculous work of upgrading itself from within, because your future self will thank you for every single conscious breath you take. If you see this video helpful, hit the like button. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And subscribe to watch more helpful videos. My mission is to help you become healthier, happier, and live a life full of vitality and free from chronic diseases. Thank you for watching, and remember, your health is a practice, not a destination. I'll see you in the next video.